Okay, excellent. Welcome to Pilates. I'm Ruth. And we're going to start this morning with doing a little bit of forward breathing just to get the back of our rib cage moving a little bit better. So all I want you to do is I just want you to have your legs bent. You can have them either a little bit apart or right tight together. And you're going to bring your hands to the front of your shins and then just round forward over your legs and bring your hands down towards your ankles and just breathe, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And as you breathe, I want you to notice what part of your body is moving. Ideally, as you inhale, the back of the ribs expand. And as you exhale, they kind of soften a bit. Now, of course, your belly will move on this breath. But what you're looking for is to not press your belly forward into your legs to inhale, that you're getting the rib cage to move. Because in Pilates, we focus on the rib cage movement as part of our breath. One more inhale and exhale here, and then stack your spine up to vertical. And we're going to lay on down and see if we can find neutral spine today. Now, if you are somebody who has a tight neck, that when you lay down, your chin lifts up towards the ceiling, you're going to want something under your head to support your head so the plane of your face is parallel to the floor. So perhaps a folded up small towel, garden kneelers are kind of perfect for that. Now, right legs are bent, feet are within the width of the body. And I just want you to notice the curves of your spine, right? Your neck, of course, will be up. Is your rib cage down? If we have a lot of tension in the back of the ribs, that will be up. And your ribs go all the way down to behind your belly button. So take an inhale and exhale like a sigh. And notice that helps sink the ribs down. And then you're going to see if you can keep that heavier weighted rib as you breathe. You're inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And there's a small gap in your low back between your belly button and tailbone that is lifted away from the floor that I could slide a pencil under or maybe a silk scarf. It's kind of right at the waistband of your pants. Now from here, we're going to go to a movement called imprint. I want you to take your thumbs, put them on the bottom of your ribs, take your fingertips and find the top of your pelvis. We call them hip bones quite often. These are called ASIS points. And all you're going to do from there is you're going to, as you exhale, deepen your core work, roll your pubic bone towards your belly button a little bit and flatten your low back. That's an imprint. And then inhale, restore your low back curve. Exhale as you imprint. Now, when you do this, don't press into the feet. Your bum doesn't want to get tighter. And come back to neutral. We're trying to find it from deep core and, believe it or not, the back of your thigh, right where it meets your bum. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, release. One more exhale as you imprint. And inhale, release. Now I want you to leave your hands where they are. And you're just going to take an inhale and exhale, slide one leg straight. And as you straighten, does the space between your pelvis and ribs get bigger on the front of your body? If it does, your back arched. We don't want that. Pull that leg back in again. Same leg. Exhale, slide your leg straight, keeping the back of the ribs down, and inhale, bend. You'll exhale, straighten. Now you'll notice your core gets tighter the straighter your leg is. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Now let's go to the other side. Exhale, slide your legs straight. Inhale, bend. Now, is it harder to keep your back in neutral with this leg moving than it was the other one? Exhale, slide your legs straight. And inhale, bend. Now, you may not get your leg all the way straight because perhaps straightening your leg makes your back arch. The goal is to not arch your back. Two more here. Exhale, slide your legs straight. Inhale, bend. One more. Exhale, slide your legs straight. And inhale, bend. Now, let's just go on to our side so we can warm up our back a little bit more. We're going to do what's called rotational breathing. You're going to have your knees bent with them in front of you. Your feet are in front of you as well, kind of like you're sitting in a chair. You could have a pillow under your head or your arm, and you're trying to have your head in alignment with your spine. And you're not just relaxed down. There's some tension in that low side of the body. Notice you can actually see the wall behind me because, of course, my shoulder and my hip are wider than my waist. Now, top arm is reached forward. And for everybody, your low ribs are narrower than your shoulder and your hip. You're gonna inhale, point that top hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it out of your peripheral vision. Now exhale, turn your rib cage backwards as you keep reaching your knees forward. Inhale, feel the stretch in the back of the rib cage, and then exhale, come back to where you started. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, your core tightens as you rotate backwards. Inhale, hold, and exhale, coming forwards. Inhale, point at the ceiling. Turn to look at it. Exhale, turn back. Inhale, hold. And exhale forward. Now let's make this a 2 breath. Inhale, rotate back. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, rotate back. Exhale, come forward. One more. Inhale, rotating back. And exhale, coming forward. Let's do this on the other side. So, right, once again, you could have a pillow under your head if you have a shoulder that's not happy, resting your head on your arm like this. Knees are in front of you, kind of like you're sitting in a chair, little bit of tension in the side of your body you're laying on. Top arm is reached forward, shoulder distance off the floor. You're going to inhale, point that top hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it. Exhale, turn your ribs back as you reach your knees forwards. Inhale into the back of the rib cage. Exhale, come back to where you started. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs back. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, coming forwards. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn backwards. Inhale, hold. And exhale, coming forwards. 2 breath. Inhale, go back. Exhale, come forward. Inhale back. Are your knees still reaching forward? Exhale, come forward. One more. Inhale back. And exhale forward. Let's go up onto our hands and knees to do a cat stretch. Now, if your wrists have a tendency to be sore, you can be up on your knuckles with your thumbs pointing away from your kneecaps. Otherwise, you can be flat down on your palms. Now, you want your knees sit bone distance apart. Your sit bones are what ache when you ride a bicycle. So they're only about 4 or 5 inches apart, and that's in direct alignment with your hip joint. And then you want your hands shoulder distance apart, and your shoulders are much more broad than your hips are, regardless of what clothing manufacturers tell us. When we're here, back of our head matches the back of our shoulders, and there's a bit of tensioning in your abdominals. You're going to take an inhale to prepare. You're going to exhale, point your tailbone down towards the floor, scoop your belly button in, look back at your knees. Your back is in a shape like a letter C. Take an inhale and exhale, flatten back to where you started. Take an inhale. Exhale, point your tailbone down at the floor, scoop your back up towards the ceiling, look back at your knees. Take an inhale and exhale, flatten back out again. 2 more of these. Exhale as you round. Inhale, hold. Exhale, flatten. 1 more. Exhale as you round. Do you feel your hamstrings working to pull your tailbone towards the floor? Inhale. And exhale, flatten. Let's do a 2 breath on this. Exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. Exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. 1 more, round. And flatten. Less exercise here right now. You're just going to pull your tail to one side, bring it back to center. Pull your tail to the other side, bring it back to center. Exhale as you pull your tail to the side. Inhale, center. Now, this comes from some fascial work that I teach, fascial release work, and this should feel a little bit animalistic in nature. You're not trying to be all perfect, like we try to be a little bit in Pilates. 1 more to each side here. And then I'd like you to go onto your back, and we're going to do an exercise called hip roll. Now for hip roll, we're going to be lifting our bum up off of the floor. So you don't want anything extra under your head, because if you did, you'd end up with your collarbone in your throat, and that's just awkward. You want your feet sit bone distance apart. Remember, that's 4 to 5 inches apart, and that's in direct alignment with your hip. Your hip is not the outside, it's much narrower. You're going to find your neutral. So if the back of the ribs are still lifting, take an exhale like a sigh. And every time we come back down to the floor, you're going to see if you can find that neutral spine again, where that waveform is. That's how we achieve shock absorption through our spine, which time of gravity takes away. Anyways, let's do this exercise. Make sure you have a little activity on those inner thighs. So don't move your feet, just pull your knees an inch closer together. Take an inhale. Exhale, imprint, flattening that low back. Now lift your bum up off the floor, low back, the ribs lift. Take an inhale when you get to the top, and then exhale, soften through the ribs, roll back down again, come back to neutral at the bottom. Now, did your inner thigh stay active the whole time? If not, and the back of your leg freaked out, that's why it did that. Let's try this again. So, right, make sure your knees are an inch closer together than what feels natural for you. Feel that tensioning in the inner thigh. Take an inhale, exhale, imprint, lift your bum, roll on up onto those shoulder blades. Take an inhale there. Now, as you roll down, keep those knees that inch closer together. They're not touching, but the inner thigh is active. Let's do 2 more of those. Exhale as you roll up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, rolling back down again. One more, take an inhale. Exhale, roll up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, rolling back down again. Now, if you'd like something extra under your head to help your neck feel happier, let's pop it under your head now. And we're going to go on to some shoulder blade work to help us learn where neutral shoulder is. So bring your hands up in front of your chest. Palms are facing each other. Arms are straight. It's kind of like you're holding a box in front of your chest. Now, draw your attention to your shoulder blades. We're going to move them by reaching your fingers forward towards the ceiling. That's called protraction. And then you're just going to draw your shoulder blades back till the back and front of your shoulder is equally wide. Inhale forward, exhale back. Now, when you did that, did your ribs come forward? Inhale, fingertips forward. Exhale, shoulder blades back, keeping the rib wall heavy. Inhale forward and exhale neutral. Now feel those shoulder blades on the floor. Get a sense of the weight of the back of the ribs right above your belly button. Keep that. Take an inhale. Exhale, reach both hands towards the floor above your head. And then inhale, bring your hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach back. Now you're trying to keep those ribs heavy and keep the shoulder blades on the floor as you do this activity, right back in the front of your chest. Exhale as you reach back. Now, if your arms are getting past your face, you are probably losing neutral either in your ribs or your shoulders, maybe both. Exhale, reach back. Are your elbows still straight? Inhale forward. One more here. Exhale, reach back. Feel the tensioning in the core increase as you reach back. And inhale, come forward. We're going to do 3 more, but we're going to reverse the breath. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, come forward. Feel how that's harder in the core. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, coming forward. One more. Inhale, reach back. And exhale, coming forward. Now, I just want you to bring your hands to the front of your shoulders. We're just going to do a little bit of a chest stretch. So right hand on right shoulder, left hand on left shoulder. You're just going to inhale, point your elbows up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take your elbows sideways. And inhale, bring your elbows up to the ceiling. Exhale, back down again. Inhale up to the ceiling. As you exhale and go sideways, are your ribs lifting? Hopefully not. Back up to the ceiling and down alongside your ribs. Just one more of these. Inhale up. Exhale sideways. Inhale up and exhale down. Now just straighten out your arms. Palms can be down, up, sideways, whatever feels best on your shoulder. And we're just going to go to a small head movement called a head nod. Keeping the back of the head on the floor, you're going to just gently nod like you're nodding to say yes and release. Inhale as you nod and exhale, release. Now you're trying not to lose space in the front of your throat as you do this. And you're trying to reach the top of your head towards the wall above your head. We're looking for a gentle opening or flattening of the neck as you inhale, nod, and release. Now do one more nod, hold it there, try to swallow. If it's challenging to swallow, you found what we're looking for. Let's release. Try that two more times. Inhale, nod, try to swallow. Is it hard? If you found it, great. If you didn't, your nod's too big. One more here. Nod, try to swallow and release. So every time we do a nod as a preparation for an exercise today, you want that deeper neck contraction that we just found. Now, what I want you to do, let's go back to the shoulders. Turn your palms inwards and float your arms a little bit off the floor. And then all we're going to do here is a shoulder shrug. You're going to slide your shoulder blades up towards your ears, and then exhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Inhale up towards your ears. Now, as you go down towards your heels, can you feel a tensioning through that mid back area? Inhale up. Exhale down. You're looking for that tensioning. If you tense across the top of the shoulder, you're taking them down too much. Exhale down. One more here. Inhale up and exhale down. We're moving on to our ab prep. It's the one that kind of looks like a crunch, but it's not a crunch. I want you to bring your hands behind your head, just like we would for a crunch. Now, the big thing that makes this different is we're going to keep our low back curved when we do this exercise. We're not going to flatten that. And we're going to use that nod to start the exercise. So elbows are in your peripheral vision because that's where your shoulders are in neutral. It's kind of a 45-degree angle. Sense the weight of your head in your hands. Inhale, do that little nod we practiced a moment ago. And then exhale, round through your rib cage to curl up and look at your knees. Inhale into the back of your ribs. And exhale, come back down again. Inhale, little nod. Exhale, curl up to look at your knees. Try not to flatten that low back. If you did, you're not doing ab prep. And exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, pull under the front of the ribs to curl up and look at your knees. You're going to feel really heavy just above your belly button in your back. And then come back down again. Let's do two more. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up to look at your knees. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. One more. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. We're going to go onto our belly and do an exercise called breaststroke prep. You're going to take your hands beside your head. You're going to have your forearms on the floor. I know this looks like Cobra from yoga, but it's a little bit different. When you're here, you're going to have the tip of your nose on the floor and the middle of your breastbone. So you may have to sort of wiggle around till you find that. And you want to have your legs as close together as is comfortable for you, but have your kneecaps pointing straight down at the floor. You're going to press the front of your foot into the floor a little bit, and that'll help activate your legs, which will lift your knees a little bit off the floor, and it'll help tense your abdominal wall. Now, the first thing we're going to do is that shoulder shruggy exercise we did earlier. You're going to inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, use those mid back muscles to lift your upper chest away from the floor. Now you're keeping your low ribs on the floor. You're going to inhale, hold this, and exhale, come back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, use those mid back muscles to lift. Now you keep the back of your neck long. Inhale, hold, and exhale, back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, extending up. Inhale into the back of the ribs, not your belly. And exhale, back down again. One more. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale down. We're going to go to breaststroke prep number 2. So I want you to take your arms alongside your body. Your palms are going to be facing the ceiling. Now you'll notice when you do that, the shoulders roll forward into that protracted position. So our first movement is going to be to fix that and turn our palms inwards at the same time. But are you still pushing the top of your foot into the floor? Is your belly button still a little bit in? You're going to inhale, turn your palms inwards to face your thighs. You're going to exhale, use your back muscles to lift up off the floor. Inhale and exhale, release forward. Inhale, turn your palms inwards to face your thighs. Collarbones get nice and wide there. Now, exhale, lift up, sliding your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Inhale, hold it. And exhale, back down again. One more here. Inhale, turn your palms inwards. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale, down. One more arm position. Hands come under your forehead. Now, right? Kneecaps are floating, belly button's in a little bit. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift your head away from your arms. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lifting up using those back muscles. Inhale, hold. And exhale, down. One more here. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale, down. We're going to push back into our shell stretch. Now, if you have bad knees, wait a moment. I'll show you a different version of this. So if your knees are reasonable, you're just going to sit on your heels, round out your back. So it kind of looks like child's pose, but it's not, because I'm trying to be round. I could be down here. I'm lifted, trying to sit on my heels as much as possible, scoop my belly button in, and then you can play with a little bit of a sway here, either through your hips, your shoulders, or your head. If you have unhappy knees, you're going to do a similar thing. You're just going to lay on your back, hug behind your knees, and just do a little bit of rock and roll here. Yeah. So, right, it is time for the 100. Now, the 100 is kind of a tricky exercise because there's 100 breaths in it. You inhale five for 5, you exhale for 5. 5 and 5 is 10, 10 times 10, 100. Yeah. Now, typically, the traditional way of doing this is you imprint, you lift your legs up to tabletop one at a time, 1, 2, and you bring them together. You inhale, nod, exhale, curl up, and do your 100 here. Now, if you have a tendency towards a sore neck, you can leave your head down for this exercise. If your low back is sore, your feet can stay on the floor for this exercise because, right, I'm still working my core here or here. Yeah. Lots of people, when they first start the 5 inhales, they feel like they can't do all of them. That's okay. You're probably just taking too deep an inhale to start with. I'm going to call it like everybody's doing it with the legs up and the upper body up, but take care of your own body. If it says don't have my head up, don't have your head up. So, right, I want you on your back. I want you to make sure your back's in neutral before you get going. So remember, that's that thing where the low back is up and the ribs are down. Of course, our neck is up because it naturally does that. Now from here, you're going to take an inhale. Exhale, find your imprint. And then you're going to lift one leg at a time up to tabletop. If your low back isn't sore, squeeze those legs tight together. Inhale, nod, exhale, curl on up. Arms are going to pulse and go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Sniff, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blow, 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 50. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 60. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 70. Are you still curled up all the way? Out, 2, 3, 4, 80. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 90. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come on down. Now you can hug your knees into your chest. Do a little bit of a gentle rock here. If you didn't lift your legs up, leave your feet on the floor and just do a little bit of a rock there, just to let things soften a little bit. Because ideally, our tissue can be soft when we want it, and it can be firm when we want it. Because, right, we want Stiffness to help us lift heavy things or like walk upstairs. You want your leg to be able to stiffen because if you were like that boneless cat from Charlie Brown, that would be terrible. It'd be hard to go up and down stairs. But we want to have moments where we kind of feel like that boneless cat because if we're stiff all the time, that feels yucky too. Anyways, let's come to a seated position, guys. And we're going to do a little bit of an exercise called half roll back. All you're going to do is you're going to start kind of like we did at the beginning of class. You're going to have your hands on the front of your shins, round forward over your legs. Let's take a breath or two here and notice whether or not this feels different than it did at the beginning of class. Maybe your rib cage is moving more easily than it was earlier. Now, let's see if we can make our back rounder. So if you're right against your legs, congratulations, you have wonderful flexibility. Not all of us are there, but you know what? When you're there, your back isn't really round. So you're going to want to pull yourself a little bit away from your legs, pull your pube bone towards your belly button, and push out through the back of your ribs to make your back round, making that C curve shape like a letter C. Now, if this is bugging the back of your neck, lift your head up so that the back of your head matches the back of your shoulders. Lift your arms up so they're parallel to the floor. Now we're going to keep this round shape in our back and rock on our bum. You're going to exhale, rock back, and inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back, and inhale, rock forward. So ideally, you're feeling the work in the front line of your body and perhaps some stretch in the back line. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Two more. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Last one, rocking back and forward. We're going to go onto our back and we're going to do a little bit of single leg circle. It's going to be different than last week for those of you who did last week's class. And we're just going to do a nice basic single leg circle. So if you want to, you can challenge yourself with your arms up or you can have your arms down. Hands, like whatever you like is behind your head to help your neck and shoulders be in neutral. And let's find neutral spine. So right, remember the back of the ribs are going to be down if they're not. Take an exhale like a sigh, right? Get those ribs down. Now you're going to lift your one leg up to tabletop. I want you to imagine that your kneecap is a laser pointer and we're going to draw a circle on the ceiling. You're going to inhale, bring your knee across your body. Exhale, take it away from your face to the outside and back to where you started. Inhale across, exhale to the outside. 3, try not to hula dance. 4, because that's what this is really about. And 5, now we're going to reverse that. You're going to take the knee to the outside to start with, to the inside to finish. Inhale to start your circle, exhale to finish it. 3, 4, are your ribs still heavy? And 5, place your foot down. Let's do the other leg. So we're just going to lift that leg up to tabletop. Make sure you're still in neutral. Bring your knee across middle. That's your inhale. Exhale around to the outside and back to where you started. 2, 3. Are you pointing at the ceiling with that knee? 4. That's what we're looking for. 5. Try not to point it at the sidewalls. Reversing. Going to the outside, back to the inside. Inhale to start your circle. Exhale to finish it. 3, 4, and 5. And we'll place our foot on the floor. I'm going to get you to sit up, please. We're going to go to a little exercise called spine twist. Now, you can sit with your legs crossed like this. I sit easily like this. I've always been able to do this. You might be somebody who's a little stiffer in one hip than the other and it'll be uneven. That's totally okay. You could be in diamond legs, right? I have to face this way if I'm going to go straight legs tight together. The big rule of thumb is, are you sitting like this? If you're sitting like this, your back's not in neutral and you're going to be twisting things in a way that's not what we're looking for. So let's start with one hand on one shoulder, other hand on the other shoulder, just to figure out our range of motion. Find some tensing in the core. Take an inhale. Exhale, rotate to one side. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate to your other side. Inhale, center. Now we're trying not to move our pelvis. So your maximum range is going to be 15 degrees to one side. So if you're trying to get like 45 or 90 or something, it's not anatomically possible. Yeah. Now, let's change the hand position. Just make a little platform out of your hands, put them against your ribs. We're going to do the exact same exercise. Exhale, rotate, inhale, center. Exhale, rotate, inhale, center. Ideally, you feel work in your waist making this happen. You might feel a little bit of a pull or stretch through that mid back area, right around what women identify as the bra line in their back. One more here. And then we're going to round our back. Now I'm going to face away from you so I have straight legs, right? So you could have diamond legs for this one. You don't want to have cross legs because your pelvis twists a bit as you bend forward. If you already have a twist in your pelvis, that's not a great plan. For straight leg, feet are shoulder distance apart. Hands are going to be on your legs, whether you're in diamond or straight leg. Imagine your head's on the wall behind you, your back's on the wall behind you. Of course, the core tightens to get up against that wall. Start with your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, round forward, pulling your belly button in. Now you're trying to get the top of your forehead to your knees. Inhale. And exhale back up again. So it's almost like you're going over a railing. Inhale. Exhale, round forward. Pull your belly button in and up. Inhale. Exhale, back up again. Two more here. Exhale, round forward. Inhale. Exhale, back up again. One more. Exhale as you round forward. Inhale. And exhale back up again. We'll just do two more on a two breath. So you'll just exhale, go down. Inhale up. One more, exhale down. And inhale up. We're going to go onto our back and do a little bit of oblique work. Now, hands come behind your head just like they were for our ab prep earlier. And right, if you're somebody who's been doing Pilates for a while and you want to give yourself a challenge, you can always have your legs in tabletop for this exercise. But remember, you're going to imprint before you go there. All of us want to have that core engagement before we lift, just a little bit of tensioning there, even if your legs aren't in tabletop. Elbows are in your peripheral vision. Sense the weight of your head in your hands. Inhale, little nod of your chin in. Exhale, round through your rib cage, curl up and look at your knees. Take an inhale here. Now, exhale, take your left shoulder to your right knee. Inhale, center. Right shoulder to left knee. Inhale, center, and back down again. So think shoulder, not elbow as you do that twisting action. It'll deepen the work. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Now, keep looking at your knees. Take your left shoulder to your right knee. Right shoulder to left knee, and back down again. Exhale, curl up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Other side. Inhale, center, and back down again. Try not to rock those knees around. Exhale as you come up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Other side. And back down again. One more here. Exhale, curl up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Other side. And back down again. Beautiful. Let's from here just go to a little exercise called shoulder bridge. So right shoulder bridge, you're going to be lifting your bum again. So if you like something under your head when you're laying flat, get rid of it because you're going to be lifting your bum. This time you're going to keep your back straight. So right, remember feet are sit bone distance apart. Make sure those inner thighs are active in part of this. So right, that idea of pulling the knees an inch closer towards each other. Now take an inhale, exhale, lift up till the front of your hip is flat. Take an inhale there and exhale, come back down again. Inhale, exhale, squeeze your bum and lift till the front of your hip is flat. Now you might be getting a stretch on the front of your hip. If you're not, pull your pubic bone towards your belly button a little bit. That'll help you find that. And back down again. Now, if that increased your stretch for you, that tells you that when you were up there, your back was arched. We're trying to be in neutral. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale back down again. Now we're going to add on. You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, lift up. Now inhale, drop slightly. And then exhale, squeeze your bum. Squeeze it even harder. One more exhale to get all the way back up to the top. Inhale, hold. And exhale, come back down again. 2 more of those. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, drop your bum down a little bit. And exhale, lift 1, 2, 3 times up to the top. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Are your inner thighs still working? One more. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, drop slightly. And lift 1, 2, 3 times. Inhale, hold. And exhale back down again. Good. We'll just rock our knees side to side. If your hamstrings are really freaking out, you might want to just stretch out one leg and then stretch out the other leg. The more we do this, the stronger the hamstrings get. Now, sometimes we're afraid of them being strong, but if they're stronger, your low back is happier. And also, believe it or not, you get more range of motion. Quite often they'll be quite stiff because they're weak. Let's do a little bit of work on our front. So let's flip on over onto our tummy. And this time, you're going to have your hands under your forehead. Now, when you're here, once again, you want to be on the middle of your breastbone, not on the low ribs just above your belly button. I just realized I want to move a little bit further forward so you can see my feet better. So, right, belly button's in. You're going to let those shoulder blades slide away from your ears, right? Feel a nice width in your upper back and chest. So we're keeping that nice and quiet as we do this exercise. Now we're going to work on finding your butt muscle to take your leg backwards in space. So before we do that, I want you to make sure your belly button's pulled in. You might want to tighten right where your thigh and your butt meet. I call that your thud, to flatten the front of your hip on the floor a little bit. Now you're going to inhale, squeeze your bum harder. Exhale, lift one leg up just a little bit. Inhale, hold, and exhale back down again. Inhale, squeeze your bum. Same leg, lift it up. Do you feel the butt work? That's what we're looking for. And back down again. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Good. Now just rock your hips side to side. So if they felt different than each other, that is not unusual. We're working towards making them a little bit more balanced. Let's just come back at this one more time and see if we can do this on the 2 breath and get the same engagement in your butt. So, right, belly button's in, pig bones pulled forward a little bit by tightening that thud. Shoulders are out of your ears. Now inhale, squeeze your bum harder. Exhale, lift one leg. Inhale, down. Same leg lifts and down. Exhale, lift. Now, are you feeling the butt work? Is it similar to what it was when we were doing the 4 breath? Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. One more here. And down. Let's do the other side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Are you finding the same butt work? And rest. And if you're not, that's okay. It's a process. We're working towards it. Let's push back into our shell stretch here. Round out your back. Scoop your belly button in. Sit on your heels, a little side to side rock. Maybe through your hips, your shoulders, or your head. I find this one, it's good to rock through my hips after having done all that butt work. It helps get that to let go a little bit. Yeah. And right, remember, if your knees are unhappy, you can always lay on your back to hug your knees in and do a similar rocking action. Now, I wanted to get to a little bit of side leg work today. So let's come on to our side. Now, when you're here, you want to have a straight line from your head to your feet. And when you lay on your side, you want to make sure that your hips are stacked. So, right, what we conventionally think of as our hip bone, that's our ASIS point. Lots of times we like to roll back there and lay where it's more comfortable. You're actually going to rock that forward and lay right on that bony bit on the outside of your thigh bone, on that lower leg. It's not going to necessarily feel comfortable. Some of it is you just have to get used to the pressure. If it's really bad for you, try and find something more padded to lay on for the next time we do class. Now, you'll notice when I'm laying here that my waist does not collapse down, because if it is, you can see how the top line of my body has a funny sway in it. I want to actually figure out how to have a straight line from my head to my tail that's parallel to the floor. So there's some tensioning in my side body as I lay on it. It's not relaxed. Now, once again, you can always have a pillow under your head instead of your arm. Now, to help you balance here, you can have your fingertips on the floor. You don't want to put your palm down, that rolls your shoulder forward. And of course, your core is engaged. Now, we're going to just move the top leg. You're just going to lift it up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. Now, what I'm looking for as I do this is that my torso doesn't move. Lift up, flex your foot, bring it down, point. Now, we inhale to lift and exhale, come down. Now, if that feels super weird for you, you can exhale. It's another exercise later on that inhale to lift makes sense, which is why we start here for this. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. Two more here. Inhale, lift, exhale down. Last one, lift, and down. Now we're going to find our inner thigh on our bottom leg. So let's just drop that top leg forward. Now your knee can be up or it can be down, whatever's best for you. Try not to roll too far back on that hip. And then, right, tighten in the core again. And you're going to exhale, lift up, inhale down. Exhale, lift up, inhale down. Finding that inner thigh as you lift. If you're not feeling a lot of engagement there, really push out through your toes, reach out through those toes. That'll help the inner thigh be more active. Two more here. Exhale, lift, inhale down. One more, lift and down. Good, rest. We're going to do this on the other side. So, right, you're going to line yourself up in a straight line. You're going to make sure you're not collapsed down. You're going to make sure that you're resting on that bony thing on the outside of the bottom leg. And all we're going to do is just, top hand can be down, fingertips. Yeah, lift up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. Lift up, flex, bring it down, and point. Inhale as you go up and exhale down. Now you're trying to keep your kneecaps pointing forward the whole time. I could take my leg higher if I turned out, but that's not the point of this exercise. I'm trying to really target the outside of my hip so my knees stay pointing forward the whole time. And I'm trying to just take my leg straight up and down, not let it waver forward or back. Inhale up, exhale down. Two more here. Inhale up, exhale down. One more, up and down. Now we're going to just drop that top leg forward. You can either have the knee pointing up or drop down. Remember, don't let that top hip roll back. Tighten the core. You're going to exhale, lift your bottom leg. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Reach out the foot to lift and release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Two more. Lift and release. Last one, lift and release. Good. Let's go onto our back. And we're going to do a bit of a release for our hips after that. So if you like something under your head, pop it under your head. Have your feet the width of your mat. If you don't have a mat, you have a good idea how wide that is because, well, you belong to a gym, yeah? Now, all we're going to do from here is you're just going to drop one knee into the middle, pick it up. Now, we're not worried about trying to keep everything quiet and stable anymore. We're doing some release work here. So you're just going to let that knee drop in and pick it up. Now, ideally, while you're doing this, the leg that is not moving much. You're not going to let it roll to the outside because that would be a different release than what I'm looking for here. So you just drop the knee into the middle, picking it up. We'll just do one more on each side here. And then I want to finish off with a bigger back extension. So I'm going to get you to come onto your belly for one last time today. Now, right, we've been doing just little back extensions. We're going to do a higher one now. I want you to open your legs to a V shape. Now, don't have it super wide, like not wider than your mat. And pull your heels towards the middle, finding your butt muscles to do that. Now, from here, belly buttons in. You're going to inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift. And then use your arms and your bum to lift higher, getting the whole front of the torso off the floor. You're going to inhale, hold this, and exhale, come back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades down your back towards your heels. Now, exhale, use those back muscles to lift. Then use your arms and your bum to come higher. Inhale, reaching out through your toes to get your bum working hard. And come back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, coming up into a shape like a banana. Those ASIS points are off the floor. That's what's going to stretch the front of your hip. And come back down again. One more. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift up into your banana shape. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. We're going to push back into our shell stretch. So, right, you're going to either sit back over your heels or lay on your back and hug your knees in. And we'll just play with that gentle little rocking again. Scooping your belly button in. Elbows are bent in this exercise. Yeah, they're not straight. One more breath here. And I am calling you guys cooked. Thank you for joining me today. There we go.